You see, everyone talks about how walking away helps you level up, how walking away improves your self-esteem in the long term, how walking away actually opens up the options to meet other people. And that's how Ciara was able to meet Russell Wilson. The most important thing that she did was walking away. And walking away is the hardest thing to do, especially if you're trauma bonded to somebody, especially if that person is future. Okay, so we're gonna be talking about what happens to them, what goes on in their mind when you walk away. All right, because a lot of the times we usually just focus on ourselves. What about what about them? How do they react to us walking away from them? Well, first of all, okay, the first thing that they do, if they're really toxic, if they were not really good for you, the first thing that they do is that they actually prove your point. They eventually end up proving your point that what you did was the right decision. And the reason why is because somebody who's toxic people have a deep desire to control. At the core of toxic people is desire to control, an insatiable power, is an insatiable need for power, and they use you as their vessel of power and self-esteem. So whenever you cannot control someone who you used to control, the natural emotion that arises from that is anger. Why? Anger is the emotion you feel when you cannot control something. You know what I'm saying? It's what you feel when you can't control something. So they notice they cannot control you anymore because you've actually walked away. So what they'll do is that they'll tell you things that you wanted to hear. They'll tell you that that they're gonna change. They'll tell you that they'll go to the therapy. They'll do this. They'll get a cat. They'll tell you everything you want to hear. So that's the first thing that will happen. Is that they'll sell you the fantasy. They'll sell you the dream. Why? Because everyone's weakness is their repressed desires. Everyone's weakness is their secret fantasies we all have in our minds. And your partners know what you want. And so especially the toxic ones know what you want even more. And so what they'll do is that they'll try to tell you what you want to hear. And if that doesn't work, you'll notice that they'll get angry and they're going to start attacking you, the person that you're with, and even a fucking baby that you have, perhaps. Because even Future told Ciara, hey man, don't be having that good person Russell Wilson around my son. You know, like, when in reality, that's the guy you want around your son. That guy treats your son like that's his son. But because he's a selfish person, his true self comes out. Because most narcissists, most toxic people are covert. Most toxic people are hiding. People being a narcissist, not me, but just generally speaking, is something that a lot of narcissists know that they can't tell people, and they can't show people that. When you leave a narcissist, that's when you start seeing who they truly are, because they're gonna start attacking you. Again, they're gonna first start nice, but then if that don't work, they're gonna start playing dirty with you, right? So their true selves come out. Why? Because they start to feel the uncontrollable emotion that leads them to be toxic and controlling, and that's anger, resentment, a sense of being wrong, and a sense of entitlement. They feel entitled to you. The next thing is that they try to sabotage you, right? They try to sabotage you. So if they cannot have you, no one can. So they're gonna either try to ruin your reputation, right? They're gonna talk bad about you. Especially if the one you dated, well, men and women do this, but they're just gonna try to ruin your reputation, try to ruin the reputation of the person that you're with. So maybe they'll tell you things about this person that's not real, and try to try to divide you between you. They're gonna try to divide you in that person. The next thing is that they realize their true feelings about you. So outside of the satanic things we just talked about, which it's pretty much what Future did, which pretty much shows you his personality and the quality of his character. Other things that most people try to do is that they realize they like you, right? Especially if they were undermining you, especially if they took you for granted. What they're gonna do is that they're gonna realize, you know what, I actually like this person, so they'll come back to you, and again, it'll look very similar to the whole to get to telling you what you want to hear, like narcissists do. They'll try to tell you what you want to hear, but if it doesn't work out, they're gonna start attacking you and hurting you, right? The difference is that you know that they're not toxic, is that they'll come to you, tell you that they changed, and if you reject them, they're not gonna personally attack you or your family, right? They're just gonna walk away. They're just gonna walk away, right? So that's one thing. They'll realize that their true feelings, and sometimes if you leave them, a very small percentage it ends up working out. But I don't want you to be with someone who only came back because you left them. Because there's a high likelihood that this person is not good for you, but there's a low likelihood that this person is bad for you. I mean that this person is good for you. So it does matter, right? So that's one thing. Is that they'll realize that their true feelings for you, and the reason why that is because presence suppresses the emotions that we feel. When somebody's there all the time, you're gonna acclimate to them, habituate to them, and you're gonna forget the strong feelings you initially felt that made you attracted to them. So when you end up leaving, the distance that you create allows them to self-reflect and to actually feel the emotions that they felt for you. Why? Because the intense emotions, like the deep intense emotions you feel when you lose someone, those emotions were always there. The problem is that a lot of us, those emotions are only there when you feel like you're gonna lose that person. For example, it's like strength, right? You're strong, but there's a certain level of strength that you have reserved, like reserved gas, that's only there during life-threatening situations. That emotion that he's gonna feel for you, that she's gonna feel for you when you leave them, is only there, only comes out when you leave. Because it's almost like that's almost like your last result, right? The brain sees that it's about to lose something important, and so it releases a bunch of those emotions, like the adrenaline, that causes people to get stronger, to get more laser focused. This is a very similar reaction to that, because the threat of losing that person causes the body to go into panic mode. And so you're gonna just start feeling intense emotions. And so this person, as a result of those intense emotions, may start getting obsessed, may start doing things that you wanted them to do, right? They may go down on you at a desperate attempt, right? They'll do, like, when people feel those desperate emotions, they'll do anything. They'll do anything. And that's why I tell people, if somebody, that girl who lied to me and had a boyfriend and still wanted to get back with me, I told her, you want to get back with me? You lied to me about having a boyfriend. You lied to my girl that I'm seeing that you had a boyfriend. People are like, what the fuck? What? Oops, sorry, people. You blocked me multiple times and blamed that on him, and now you want to come back to me? No. You're gonna have to be my sex slave. You're gonna be my sex slave for a whole month, and if you don't want to do that, get the fuck out. She was like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, okay, then go away. Go away. I don't want you. I want you, but I need to heal type of bullshit energy. Get the fuck away from me. How about that? When somebody really wants you back, they're in a desperate state of mind that if they actually really want you back, they'll do anything for you. Now, mind you, what people don't understand is that you don't have to make them do some crazy shit. You just have to hear that they're willing to do it. So like I always say, have them lick your ass, and if they say yes, you don't have to make them lick your ass. You just gotta know. You're like, you know what? What are you willing to do for me? What are you willing to do for me? Or you're not willing to do anything for me, even though you disrespected me and you lied to me multiple times. So you're not willing to sacrifice something for me. Okay, then just walk away. Right? So that's one thing, is that they actually feel intense emotions for you, but like double, because they're in a desperate state of mind. Next thing is that they try to find a similar victim. So since they can't have you, what they'll do is that they'll find somebody that looks similar to you, like Kanye West. So since they can't use you anymore, they can't hurt you no more. So they'll find somebody that has a similar look, or maybe has a similar energy, or maybe has a similar attachment style to recreate what they lost. Right? And that's where people develop their types. right? Types are usually created as a negative or as a positive. In other words, I dated a white girl and she was horrible, and as a result, I'm only dating black girls, right? I know it sounds really very crude, but as an example, or that's like the negative, right? I dated a narcissistic girl, and now because she's narcissistic, and now I'll never date a narcissistic girl because it was toxic. That's like you start to develop your types from the negative. The positive, my dad was great for me, and I like a guy that's similar to my dad. I dated a girl who was really sweet to me, and this is how she looked, and because of that, I like dating girls that look like her, right? My mom looked a certain way, so I date girls that have a similar look to my mom, right? And I think for me, that's actually my case, right? Because my mom, she kind of like, when she was younger, she looked like Selena, to be honest with you. She looked like Selena. And usually the girls that I date have a similar look. First of all, that's a good type, right? I tell people that. I'm like, look, I don't feel like it's creepy because first of all, Selena's hot. You know what I'm saying? Like Selena, like that archetype, you know, that the light skinned, dark hair, big boobs, that whole look, it's not a bad look, you know. And that was like the way that my mom looked, and it's kind of crazy, because you know when I think about my mom, I think of like the older version of my mom. But then when I look at my exes, and I look at the photo of my mom when she was younger, I'm like, yo, if you squint, they all look the same. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. Your family creates your types, right? Well, let's just keep going. They may try to change for the better. That's where the good part is, right? This is not where future is. Future changes for the worse. What they try to do is that they're going to try to change for the better, become better people, improve. They notice that, like when I was younger, girls told me that I was very insensitive with my words. Like I said a lot of offensive things. And sometimes I dated a girl who wouldn't have me around her family because she was afraid that I was going to offend them. And she was kind of right, because I was a little unhinged when I was younger. And their reaction to me made me self-reflect, you know? And it made me better. It made me a better person in the long run, right? But that's because I'm actually trying to learn, right? Toxic people don't do this type of stuff. They don't self-reflect. They become more of who they are. And they'll never accept any type of blame, right? So if you notice, a lot of the walking away, it does not really change the circumstance between you and that person. It's over. Walking away allows you to heal, and it allows you to see who they are. And in fact, walking away will confirm a lot of the times the suspicions that you had and the things that your friends told you about this person and the things that I said about this person, right? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video, man. Stories like Ciara should be a good comforting story for everyone, because Ciara, to me, had a very difficult past. It seems like with her, especially with Future, you know, getting played, being part of the baby mama vermade or something like that. And it's a little embarrassing, but she learned her lesson, and that's what I hope that a lot of you guys that watch this channel, don't be hard-headed. Learn from your mistakes. Sacrifice this person in the altar of wisdom so that you never repeat these mistakes, and so that you losing this person was actually worth it in the long run. All right? Anyways, hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget, pre-order my course, The Feminine Woman. You could click on the description down below to purchase it. It's an overall self-help course for women. Like if I had to make a course for my nieces, so that they could improve their dating lives, their relationships, their school lives, their career lives, this is the course that I would make for them, right? Like if I had daughters, this is literally the course that I would make for them. And I am Father Alex. By the way, I heard how people who call themselves Father or anything divine is a cult. So I'm like, goddamn. Mind for Attraction is turning into a cult, people. This is really dark stuff. Anyways, yeah, you can pre-order it right now by clicking on the description down below, and I'll see you guys later. Take care.